Welcome to this edition of Handmade Holiday. I am Sharon Hines. I blog at mrshinesclass.com. I am here today with my co-host, the lovely Heather from Setting for Four.
Hi, everybody.
She's got a great ornament that you may have already seen on Facebook and Google Plus, and she's going to show us how to make our very own today. I think you're going to enjoy that. We also have Tammy from Deja Vu Designs. She's a fellow Texan with me here today, and she has another DIY ornament that I think you're going to love and enjoy. Very festive and sparkly and kind of whimsical, a nice whimsical touch to your holiday. And then I will share some DIY framed Christmas decorations. So we're going to start off, and I'm going to turn it over to Tammy.
Hey y'all, today I'm going to do one of my classic little trash recycling, and what these are, they're made out of solo cups, and I painted mine with some stained glass paint. This one's with the Mira paint, and this one is just with some translucent red paint. And these are really large. I wanted them. Do what?
Those are the clear solo cups?
They were, yes.
Wow.
They were clear. Now, I did discover after I did this one that you can buy the cups already this color, transparent.
Yeah, but I like yours because it's more translucent.
It is, but they are. I saw some
you can buy the red translucent ones. Okay.
Yes, I saw some in the store after I did these. I was like, oh, well, that was a waste of time. And then what I did was I took the bottom of my solo cups and I just cut a picture out of a magazine and Mod Podged it inside of it. But you could do like a picture of your kids or your grandkids or whatever. And then it's two bottoms, and I just glued a ribbon around it to finish off where you glued them together. And so we're going to use pretty much the whole cup to do it. First of all, you're going to cut that cup all the way down to this lower edge. Are y'all seeing it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And then you'll take your scissors and you're going to cut this whole entire top off where you drink.
Okay.
And you'll cut that completely off, and I threw it away, but I think could be something creative to be done with that. And then
sure.
You're going to have your bottoms, and you're going to poke a hole in that bottom and lay it off to the side. And so you should have a strip, and I don't know how well y'all can see that, but you're just going to have a strip, that inside center strip that you've cut out. And then here's a picture of the looking glass and the stained glass color that I painted mine with. And at that point, mine are about a ½ inch. It took 3 of those cups to do mine. I made these a ½ inch wide by, like 6 inches. I think mine are really large, so, you could cut them quite a bit shorter than that and really make a better sized ornament.
I like the large. I bet it's easier to work with those larger strips.
It is. And these are a little shorter. And this silver one, I don't know if y'all noticed in this picture, it's sideways. It's kind of squished down, kind of spaceship-like, and that's just a matter of adjusting your knots.
Okay.
But I used a really large bead here to show how you can start your line. Now, I used monofilament with mine, but in these pictures I used a darker wire so you could see it better. You just go through your bead and then loop it around and come back through it and then knot that off, and then that'll secure your first the start of it. And then you're going to go back and you're going to fish all of your strips. You'll have a hole on either end of each one. I used 8 in one of them and 10 in the other. I believe my red was 10 and my silver was 8. But you'll just fish your line up through the outside of the curve. So see how it's curved this way? You'll start back here and come up through. So you'll be in the center of your ball. And I have a picture of where you can see the beads through the cracks here. And it looks really neat if you would just bead this whole monofilament. But before you go up through that top hole, oh, here's my silver one that's kind of squished down. If you look really close, right here you can see the bead in the center, and it looks kind of cool.
Oh, pretty.
You know, you could do all colored. Yeah, you could do a real neat design in here. And this one, I don't know if you can see right here, I slit one of those strips. I just cut a kind of a long diamond shape out of it. And I think that would be really neat if you did it all the way around them. I just did it on the one, but and then you're going to come back up through that. Well, first you're going to decide whether you're going to have this oval, weird shaped one.
What do they call that? Onion shape?
Yeah, kind of. It's kind of like a flying saucer because it's not really. And then you're gonna, or you're gonna have a round one like this one, which is sideways. And I left before I squished the silver one down. Here's a picture of the round. But depending on what shape you want, you'll tie your bead on the inside off again to the height that you want, and then you're going to feed it back up through from the inside to the outside on these. Now I spread mine out before I started feeding it through there. I spread these out and I glued them just a little tiny bit with some hot glue so that they would stay in position. See here, they're glued because they want to all scrunch back together like this. If you don't, kind of secure them with a little dab of glue before you go through your next hole. And really then it's just a matter of, you know, decorating them how you want. See how I did some extra beads up here.
That is
Here's
so
a picture of
elegant.
that opening. But the bottoms, they're just a matter of whatever you want to put in those. I just hated to throw the bottom completely away. The looking glass, to me, it catches the most light and really is the sparkliest. But
The looking
anyway,
glass, you would never know that was a solo cup. That is gorgeous.
the ornaments you can't tell. Now the bottom, you know, you sort of can, but if you put the picture on the outside, you wouldn't know it.
Your
But
picture's inside, right?
I did mine inside, but I think if you were going to do like a picture of a kid or a grandkid, you might want to do it on the outside. But I just used Mod Podge and then just a little strip of ribbon around the edges where I glued the two bottoms together. And I put beads
Oh, cute.
inside of that little, I'm
nice.
kind of,
Yeah, I can see them.
Yeah, that's cute.
but you could do glitter or anything. But anyway, that's just my don't throw your solo cup away. I don't throw anything away. My kids call me a hoarder, but it's really just I don't like to waste.
I love it, Tammy. You did a
Okay.
fabulous
Very
job.
glamorous.
Thank y'all.
Heather, you ready to dazzle us?
Oh, sure.
Okay, here's Heather.
Hi, everybody. I'm Heather, and I blog at Setting for Four. And today I'm going to show you how to make a ombre Christmas ornament that looks like this. And so for the supplies, what you need is silver craft paint and a brush. Going to need silver cording to hang it with and some scissors, a Christmas ball, a 1-inch circle punch, looks like this, and a hot glue gun, And the last thing you're going to need is paint chip cards. And they look like this. So the ones that I made this year are blues. So my paint chip card has a number of blue colors along it. It works really well if you have a paint chip card that has at least 3 different colors on it to give you that ombre effect. And what ombre means is just a subtle variation of colors from dark to light. So I used blues this year, but if you're into the plums and purples, then you can use a paint chip card like this, or you could use reds. There's a number of reds on this one. And even if you like black and white and sort of a neutral look, you could use a paint chip card that looks like this. I'm using a dark navy bulb from when I used to decorate with navies. And I painted the cap as well as the top of the ball a silver color because that part's going to show when you're finished. So you're going to want to paint it whatever color you'd like, whether it be white or you could keep it gold or whatever works for your decor. And then we're going to punch out some circles. This is the fun part. And I used a 1-inch circle punch and a card, paint chip card like this, and you can see where I've already punched out some of the circles. Mm-hmm. And each of these cards, it's probably really hard to see, but there's some writing on the sides of it, and along with the white stripes, and you don't want those to show up on your circles. So what I do is I just put the paint chip card into the circle punch like this, and then I punch them out so I can see exactly what I'm going to get out for the final circle. So as you can see, if I punch it out there, I'm going to have a white stripe in it. So you just punch out several circles, and when you make a few of these, you'll get a better idea how many circles to punch out.
That was my question.
I used a total of 7 of these cards, and these have 5 different colors on them. So just kind of have to do one to get an idea of how many cards you're going to need and different colors you're going to need and circles you're going to need. So to start off, you take one of the circles of the darkest color, and that's going to go on the bottom of the ball, and you hot glue it on right in the center and at the very bottom. See, there's the top, there's the bottom, and that's where you're going to put your first one. And then you just take another dark circle and hot glue them on so that each one overlaps. Bring it in a little closer, you might be able to see. So each one sort of overlaps. And you don't have to really worry too much about making sure that it's an even circle. It could kind of be a bit wavy. It's just really a forgiving craft to make, and it's going to look awesome at the end. So you don't have to worry about, if it's, a ½ inch up or higher or lower than the next one. It all works out. So you finish one row of the dark color and take the second darkest color, which is this one, and then you hot glue it on again onto the bulb so that it overlaps like that. And you just continue on using a row of each of the colors from dark to light until the whole ball is covered. So as you can tell, it doesn't matter what color that your ball is when you start with. You could buy some after Christmas that are for sale really cheap because they're a different color that's not selling well. It doesn't matter, you're going to cover it. So the final step is you cut a piece of cording about 8 or 9 inches long, like this. I use silver, and you sort of divide it in half, and you put a knot at the very end. And then you take the opposite end from where the knot was, and you just loop it through the ornament at the top where the hanger is, and just pull, and you're done.
And there you go. I love it.
Yeah, so that's the ombre effect. You can see the shading, and these are a lot of fun to make, and they add a really nice pop of color to your space, and you can customize them to using whatever colors that work with your decor, and yeah, they're a lot of fun to make.
I don't know if you can see behind me, but I have this wreath here in the center of my mantle, and I felt like it needed something to fill in that gap. And I've been racking my brain. I raided the kitchen, put a white plate back there, thought, no, I don't want that. And finally, even just this morning, thought, oh, at first I wrote with my chalk paint Dear Santa on a frame glass, and it was cute, but I wasn't loving it. So I dug through my scraps of wrapping paper and found this Merry Christmas paper and cut it out. I think it's self-explanatory, but I'll show you what I did. You just pull this off. Just use, this one doesn't still have a back in it. I guess I could use the back, this back, lay it down on the paper, trace around it, and cut it out, and then pop it in, and I have instant Christmas art. You know, I've always admired the pictures, the portraits of Santa that you see. Have never purchased them. It always feels like a little splurge that I can't afford by the time I have finished decorating for Christmas and buying Christmas presents. So I'll share the pictures of how I use these in a blog post later. And actually, I shared some of them when I created this album for the Hangout today. I shared some on my Google Plus profile. But like last year, I Googled this image, or I think I Googled Christmas carolers, and I used this in a little decorative scene. Another one that I did with wrapping paper just today when I was playing around, I cut out some Jingle Bell wrapping paper and framed it in this little frame. And
So pretty.
I like that. I love Jingle Bells, and I was at the dollar store the other day and picked some up and then left the store without buying them. Went next door to Hobby Lobby and then decided I wanted those Jingle Bells. I went back, couldn't find them anywhere. So I'm Jingle Bell-less this year.
Oh no.
But I have these little frames. They were little place settings my friend used at a wedding, and you could easily find something, whether you Google the image or use scrapbook paper or wrapping paper. I also thought some of these little Christmas tags, they're stickers.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought that would look so cute. I'll just do one. If you had a backing, maybe I could try that. You can probably just stick it right on the little front of the glass, but you could also use the backing for like a mat. And what I love about, oh, that's adorable, if I do say so myself. So, let me slide that back together so I can show it to y'all. Now you can't see what I'm doing. Okay. Oh, look how cute that turned out.
Oh, that's really cute.
But you could tuck this in your Christmas tree as an ornament. I love tucking little frames. I have pictures of my daughter from throughout the years, whether it was handmade by her in school or a Christmas themed frame that I had tucked in the tree. Anyway, I think this would make a cute little
That's adorable.
whimsical ornament. You could put um, a, a greeting in it and put it in your entry. Lots of ideas. And I have a few more that are in my photo album on Google Plus. I think we have seen some fabulous ideas here. I'm just going to tuck my little framed Christmas wrapping paper message into my wreath so y'all can see what it looks like. And from my friends Heather and Tammy and from me, we're so glad to hang out with you today for the holiday hangout and share some handmade ideas. Wishing you a wonderful holiday season, and you can catch this video and these tutorials and projects on our blogs. We look forward to seeing you again. Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank
y'all.
you.
Merry
Bye.
Christmas.
Bye.